Well, I didn't quite see the Super Bowl unfolding like that. I gotta be honest with you. The only way I saw a blowout happening in this game was Kansas City blowing out the Bucks, and then the conversation the next day being, "Well, can we truly call Tom Brady the greatest of all time? I mean, he got blown out in the Super Bowl. None of the greats, none of the all-time greats have been blown out in the Super Bowl, except Peyton Manning and what the Legion of Boom did to him. But we don't acknowledge that anyway." Um, yeah, Kansas City just got their poop stuffed in last night. Like that was just abysmal. Yeah, the bad calls and all that from the refs. Okay, great. That didn't cost Kansas City the entire game. Just a lack of complete effort and looking like you quit by the third quarter. That cost you the game, Kansas City. So let's not mince words here. Um, Tom Brady, what's there to say about this guy that hasn't already been said? It's to the point where like I don't even want to refer to him as the GOAT anymore. I just want to refer to any other great quarterback as not Tom Brady. Like he's just not in a discussion with anyone else anymore. Like I mean, you guys sit there with a straight face and say Joe Montana and his 4 rings is as great as Tom Brady and his 7 rings and 10 Super Bowl appearances? Like you're gonna say that with a straight face and say that's more special? That someone else put up better regular season stats and only won 1 or 2 Super Bowls, that's more special? Okay. Have fun in that little insulated world of just hating Tom Brady for no good reason, because that's all you got at this point. And 5th Super Bowl MVP, I know some people are just like, yeah, well, he didn't really do that much in the game, only over 200 yards passing. But see, that's the thing. It's what he didn't do that I think is more justifiable for him getting the MVP here. In that he's a 43-year-old man still throwing at a highly competitive elite level, and he didn't throw any turnovers. He didn't have any fumbles. Like he didn't cost them the game or attempt to cost them the game or anything like that. Like he just had to be consistently well the entire night, and he was. It's like, like that Green Bay game kind of had me worried because, man, he had that stretch of 3 interceptions, and I'm just like, oh boy, did this guy lose his mojo 3/4 through the playoffs? Because that could be problematic. But no, he stepped up to the challenge. Just that monkey stepped on his back for a second. He said, "Get the hell out of here." And he just came out tonight poised and confident. Like that is a champion. He just epitomizes greatness. And I can't stand the guy off the field. He's a complete D-bag. But on the field, he is the best ever. Ever. And the second best only wishes he had half the talent of Tom Brady. Anyway, or at least half the achievements, I should say, of Tom Brady. There's plenty of guys that are just as skilled, or if not more skilled. It's what they do with their skill at the end of the day that ultimately matters. And Tom Brady's a perfect example of that, because no one's going to say Tom Brady's the most accurate passer of all time, the most clutch passer of all time. You could argue that, but that's the thing. It's an arguable point. You can't argue anyone else is as great as Tom Brady. Like that discussion just beyond ended. I think that ended years ago, but I just don't know what leg people are standing on now, other than living in a cloud of Tom Brady bubble hate. Enjoy that bubble, because that's all you are. You're just a hater. You're just a hater. Anyway, props to the Buccaneers. Props to AB catching that touchdown right in front of Tyrann Mathieu, and him running up right to Tom Brady talking smack after the touchdown. Like that's going to age so well. One thing I do want to say, the one thing that I think is going to be a negative, if you will, for the Buccaneers is that history is going to remember this game as Tom Brady's 7th ring. It is going to completely overshadow the tremendous, insane effort, specifically from that defensive front line, of that entire defensive performance last night from the Buccaneers, because they brought the heat to Patrick Mahomes all night. All night. made him look like he had no business even being in a Super Bowl, let alone being the defending champions, being the guy who just won the MVP last year in Patrick Mahomes. He looked like a scared little kid running around in the pocket there. And on top of that, like, I can only throw so much of the blame on Patrick Mahomes last night. What else could he do? Could you imagine if that was Tom Brady in the pocket trying to get something done with the way the rush was coming at him like it was to Patrick Mahomes last night? Oh, you wouldn't be seeing a 7th ring on Tom Brady's left hand or right hand, whatever. I don't know. Anyway. Does JPP have a finger to put Anyway. So, it's a logical question. Where is he going to put... All right. I know, he only hurt one hand. The other hand's fine. I got it. Yeah. Little levity. It's a New York Giant. I hate the Giants. Anyway. Anyway. Just props to the Buccaneers. Props to the defense. Andy Reid. The Eagles fans out there that don't like Andy Reid, great. Now, Andy Reid gets to live with the stigma of being the only coach to lose to Tom Brady twice. So, Eagles fans that don't like Andy Reid, there you go. You can point and laugh at that. Just on a side note, did anyone find it bizarre that they brought up the situation with Britt Reid in the automobile accident during the game? Like, I thought that, like, the NFL would, like, really steer clear of that. Because Britt Reid, if you don't know, is the son of Andy Reid, one of the assistant coaches on the Kansas City Chiefs. And he got into an automobile accident where he was, the police reports say that he was drinking. He had admitted to taking, I think it was like Ritalin or something. I forget, I don't want to misspeak. He had a prescription drug that he had in his system on top of drinking. He failed his field sobriety test, and he crashed into another car that had a 5-year-old girl in it. The 5-year-old girl is clinging to life on critical condition, and they brought light to that during the game, during the broadcast. I'm like, why would the NFL want to bring it to, like, because I figured the NFL was just trying to, like, oh, God, we got to distance ourselves from this story. This does not look good. No one likes it when 5-year-old kids are in critical condition. But they brought light to it during the middle of the game. Anyway, I was just stunned that they brought that up. But you know what? I want to give thanks to someone in this game. Thanks that is a guy who pretty much gets ripped end to end throughout a season, and that is Roger Goodell. Because whether we want to continue to hate him or not, we got a 16-week season for every NFL team, a completed playoffs, and a Super Bowl done in the time of this horrific pandemic. And it may sound petty to like say like, oh, I so enjoyed watching football and all that this year. But you know what? For so much that is lacking in everyone's life, it was nice to have that little piece of normalcy return. Yes, I will be petty and say I loved enjoying football this year while tens of thousands of people were dying. And I understand people want to throw shade on that, of me taking enjoyment in that. But you know what? I loved watching football. And one of the main reasons why is Roger Goodell got an initiative together, got a game plan together, helped spearhead and be the guy on the top to get everything done, and everything got done. And Roger Goodell deserves so much credit for that. Anyway, and so does everyone else, all the line workers along the way too, everyone that helped, not have COVID turn into a pandemic on every single team, everyone along the way that helped this process get from A to Z right into the Super Bowl and see Tom Brady get a 7th ring. Because that would have been just, it would have been such a robbery of that man's legacy if this season didn't get done and he didn't get a chance to get his 7th ring. So anyways, thank you, Roger Goodell. That's probably the last time you're ever going to hear me say thank you, Roger Goodell, on the video. Anyway, he's still a D-bag. Anyway, I don't know. I thought it was an enjoyable Super Bowl, but again, I was watching from the perspective of wanting to see greatness, and greatness got done. So, Congratulations, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're the Super Bowl champions. The city that just had a Stanley Cup now gets an NFL title the same year. It's wonderful. In a resort town. That's great. It's special. Wonderful. And their baseball team just made it to the World Series too. So that's terrific. They deserve it. Anyway, nothing left to say, right? Nothing at all. It's like I'm wearing nothing at all. That's Simpsons reference. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's it.